Everybody got a story to tell. I'm sure you done heard about the young man who wasn't able to graduate. It was only because he was having issues at home. Then trying to provide for his family landed him in a cell for the rest of his life.
Or maybe you heard about the man who did graduate, but before he can get to college, he became a victim to gun violence in a troubled neighborhood.
But see, we don't want to highlight these stories anymore. They only leave the world with a false stigma of what we truly are, which is amazing,
Awesome.
and brilliant. We want to tell you about the story of success, so we all can start changing that narrative right now. Yo, welcome to the Info Show live at the 4 where we feed your mind, body, and soul. It's your boy Louis Blaze.
Yeah, Levi in the building.
Crimson Kojak, aka Kojak the artist.
Yeah, we are IWD, that's Individuals with Dreams, and we are here live with our second episode of the new mindset, new media, new leaders, and new narrative campaign and the podcast, man. We doing the thing. So today, actually, we have a very, very special guest for the show.
Lovely guest.
She is
guest.
amazing, awesome, and brilliant. She is a healer. She is an educator. She is an artist. Her name is Miss Fazayah Rose. Come on. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
There go your mic.
How y'all doing?
Doing
Wonderful.
good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, rate your day on a scale of 1 to 1,000.
I say about 800.
Okay, 800.
100.
We're going to have to get that to
850.
1,000. Yeah, so first off, thank you for coming on the show. As you know, IWD, we're about to launch this campaign that's focused on changing the narrative for African-American males based around the 4 powers. That's new mindset, new media, new leaders, and new narrative. And it's just been an amazing journey. And actually, I just want to walk y'all through the steps of how we actually first met, because it was through this campaign and through the work we were doing with Nehemiah from the Irreducible Grace Foundation. And then we landed there, and then we met you one day, and I remember the first impression was like, yo, y'all gotta meet her, because she is a dope artist. She just told us a poem, and I was like, yo, I want to meet her. And then ever since then,
That was pretty dope, though.
Yeah.
Real dope. Not pretty dope, real dope.
yeah, exactly. Ever since then, we just connected, and I'm just so happy we got you here, because you're just so amazing, very intellectual, and you feed us knowledge. So that's
She
what.
very, very woke, by the way.
Thank you. You know, I ain't trying. I ain't no sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we can just get right into it. What inspires you? You know.
The idea of my great grandkids being free. That's what inspires me every day. When I wake up, that's what I think about. I think about them.
Example of her being awake right there. Y'all just ain't that.
Exactly.
About her great.
Hey, somebody got to think about them. Ain't nobody thinking about them. Like,
Yeah, the
and I
next
worry about
generation.
them. Yeah.
Got to pay it forward.
She on
we-
the next generation though.
Yeah. I want to like every day, I want to spend every one of my days leaving something for them so that they can figure it out. Like, you know, where I fell short, they can get it. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I think that's so important, because we look at life in the way it is now, and it's sort of a gap in between this generation and the older generation, you know. So a lot of the work we've been doing has been focusing on bridging that gap. You know, like the campaign is an intergenerational movement. We've been highlighting young brothers and old brothers, showing that we all the same and we all gotta help each other like iron sharpens iron.
Yo, my question is, where do you guys think that gap started? Like, where do you think that gap was created?
Man, listen, okay. We all like to forget that we are at war. We have been at war for hundreds of years. So, like, those questions are kind of just, like, I don't know, pointless to me, because, like, okay, like, we get it. We are at war. It's for a very important reason about who we are. Like, it's all about who we are and who we've forgotten we are. They ain't forgot. Right. That's why they still warring with us. Well, we not even fighting. We haven't fought. We haven't retaliated in hundreds of years. But we still here and we still winning. Why? Like, that's, I think.
Still winning.
Exactly. Exactly. I think the only questions we need to ask is, how do we bridge the gap? Like, I don't think we need to spend no more energy or no more mental intellect on wondering why we are the way we are. We are the way we are because we've been viciously attacked for hundreds of years, but we still here and we still winning, like I said. So, like, I don't know. I feel like as far as, like, bridging the gap, I think one simple thought could be, like, implanted in our youth. And that thought is, everyone is a teacher. Everyone.
Everyone.
No matter how old, no matter how young, I just learned something from, how old is that little kid in that office that we just saw? I just learned something from a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
About chakras and Tibetan bowls, like, I don't know.
Serendipity.
That's real. Yeah. You just said a really interesting word right there, chakras. You don't want to taught me about that. Can you like explain that with the entire podcast and like the 7 chakras in your body? I just saw Chingy talking about it earlier.
I'm pretty sure there's more because we are so
yeah, probably is more. But
explain in our intellect,
explain to us how all that functions in the different chakras.
Okay, so the way I understand it, and like I'm not a scholar on this, but pretty much there's energy fields in our body, and there's 7 that we know of: the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. That's the most popular ones that we know of, particularly in Western culture. These energy centers are kind of like, the way I see them is sideways tornadoes. Like they're kind of turned on their side, but they're constantly spinning and absorbing energy, releasing energy. And when these chakras are imbalanced, there's a lot of emotional problems that could happen, a lot of addictions that could be created alone just by one of your chakras being misaligned or spinning too fast or too slow. And yeah, and they all correlate with like different colors and different crystals. So certain exercises, can open up your third eye chakra or your sacral chakra, whichever one you want. Yeah. And the root chakra, this is very important. The root chakra is what we have sex with. So it's very important to keep that open and operating at its fullest function, because without us even being aware of our root chakra, we be passing around spiritual STDs just by having sex with our root chakra. So
I feel like you answer my question sort of kind of, because I was about to ask you what chakra you literally like are like most like interacted with right now. And if you could choose
for me, it's definitely I say my solar plexus.
It has where's that located?
It's right in your gut. So like you got the solar plexus and then you got the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is like your reproductive organs, and it's so much.
It all makes sense.
It does. It seriously does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my favorite chakra is the third eye, the pineal gland, right? That's what it is, right?
Yes,
the pineal
gland. Yeah.
Yes. I think that's my favorite one because, like you just said, we could do certain exercises to like open that chakra, and I think that's what's important, because we all. I just learned this recently too, and a little bit from you about how the human is like so controlled by the ego. We got the ego, the soul, and the spirit. Your pineal gland is like connected to the spirit. We got to tap into that. So,
and if the ego is if you are run by your ego, then the soul and the spirit is in prison. Is literally in prison. So like if you only run by like what other people say about you, if you get hurt feelings every time somebody critique you or something like that, that means you're only operating ego. Yeah. And there's so much more to the human body. Like there's so much more to human beings. It's like we're literally operating at like 2% of our ability today in this society. Just only like that much. And I don't know. I think it's important to teach the youth, teach the little kids about their chakras, about even astral projecting, like just normal stuff that we all can do with our minds. Like
exactly,
we literally can put thoughts into other people's minds just by making that intention. And it's so easy once we just practice it. And I think if we get our youth practicing it and just make it a habit,
them get older, it'll just be like
I always wondered that, like, why didn't they teach us this in school?
Why would they?
Bro, because
right,
it's
why would
ran
they?
about Caucasian people, right? And I feel like they limit to what they want us to know. You know what I'm saying? So like they put out what they want us to know instead of like what
right. The education system is so limited. It's like they in there just creating a bunch of robots, just want them to function some type of way and believe this American dream. Like you got to do this, you got to go to college, get this degree, and then become a worker for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And
I think one mistake they made though
is
they completely disregarded our spirit selves. They really attacked our ego and our emotions and our mindset, the way we think. They literally shaped that, fashioned that after themselves, but they completely disregarded our spiritual self. And I think our spirit has been operating successfully and free of any limitation for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And I think that's the only reason why we winning. Like they just completely disregarded it.
Yeah, you
And I
can't
think
break the
that's great.
spirit. You can't. Like I was just saying this the other day, how even in years in my life, when like now I'm understanding all this, and I know I was ego bounded, I was controlled by the ego. I know it, all the decisions that I made,
still
and yeah, sometimes, right, and dealing with all the stress and the depression. You feel me? But what I realized is my spirit always been working still throughout any situation. It's been continuously working. You know, I get granted certain blessings, and I'll be like, why is this happening to me? You know, that's because your spirit is always working. Yeah, that's real. And then let's talk about some of the breathing exercises, because you know about breathing and how it floods oxygen to the brain. Let's speak on that some more, how like we could learn to like try to control our ego when we in heightened situations.
Okay. Sorry, and forgive me for my cough. I have a cold that I just discovered this morning. It's so annoying being sick as a healer. It's like offensive as hell to me
Right.
for some reason.
Who gonna heal you? You doing
Right.
all the healing. Who gonna
It's like,
heal
how
you?
am I gonna get sick and I'm a healer?
Right.
But breathing, I think, is the most important part of self-care.
Yeah.
We always forget about it. Even me. I've been in this on this self-healing, self-care journey for a little over 2 years now, and I still today forget to breathe. Breathing is important because when you take deep breaths, you literally unlock the logical part of your brain, the parasympathetic nervous system. Yeah. When you're in
Wait, you said the
parasympathetic nervous system.
Y'all got that right? The parasympathetic nervous system.
And when you are breathing, the parasympathetic nervous system activates, and this is where all your logical ideas come from. Your good ideas, your rational thinking. That's where it's at. So when we are angry, stressed, upset, emotional, we're only operating in our sympathetic nervous system, and that's pretty much like our reptilian brain. It's the first brain that kind of formed in our evolutionary process. So this is fight or flight, survival, just emotions, because we needed to survive. So breathing unlocks the latest evolutionary, little phase that we went through as human beings, and we're able to think clearer and make logical, rational decisions that will cause least harm. And that's like our objective in living this life. We trying to cause as least harm as possible. Yeah. So yeah, when you breathe, you just become a better person automatically. And a lot of times, I'm sorry.
You good?
A lot of times, from people who've been through an enormous amount of trauma, like myself, as soon as you wake up, you are bombarded with all of these lies, illusions, and that could kind of shape your whole day, where you just snapping on people, snap on people. Like y'all hung out with me several times when I'm just snapping just for no reason.
Yeah,
just
I'd be
because,
like, where did that come
right?
from?
Yeah,
do be unexpected.
Yeah. That's because all these thoughts
moment.
I'm being bombarded with, and I'm forgetting to breathe. And I'm just believing them, and I'm just being swept away in them. So breathing is the first thing we got to do in the morning. Yeah. Deep breaths, and just to ground ourselves. It helps us ground ourselves.
Can we all ground ourselves right now? Can we all breathe together? Let's do it.
Definitely.
Let's all take some deep breaths. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Again. One more time.
It works.
I feel so much better.
Actually, it kind of falls into what I was going to ask you. Actually, Fazayah, can you tell us a time when you actually used one of those breathing tools?
That's a good question.
Like a serious moment.
Yeah, and then we all gonna talk about times where we feel like we should have used it in our lives.
I think the most memorable. This is so embarrassing, me sharing this story. I'm kind of a hothead. Again, I have been through a lot of trauma. I just started my healing process a little over 2 years ago, so I'm still kind of struggling with my temper. I was in an elevator. I live in the hood, so there's a lot of hood people in my building.
Shout out to the hood, man.
Shout out to the hood. Y'all always keep a sister on her feet.
Yeah.
I was in an elevator, and for some reason my neighbors think I'm just like this pushover because I'm like always hugging trees and, you know, wearing hair wraps and stuff. But this lady tried me, and I'm from Chicago, and I'm also black, and you know, like,
It's just an automatic.
Right. It's a snap.
what's up? What's good? We wrapping up the hair. We taking off the hoops. What's good? What's good? And I was in her face, and I screamed out. I said, I could kill you right now.
Oh.
I could literally kill you. That's how pissed off I am.
Ouch.
I would kill you, bitch. I'm sorry for cussing.
Oh yeah, we gonna cut that out.
And I scared myself. So I just, in front of her, she's still yelling, yapping her mouth. I just took a step back, and I'm just like, whoa, I don't recognize you, Fazayah. What's good? What's good? Like, so I like in that elevator in this small space where I'm just about to just snap on her. I just had to take a step back and just like do my breathing exercises, and that immediately calmed me down.
What tool did you use exactly?
It was just deep breathing, honestly. I didn't do the power huzz. I know, like, yeah, it was just deep breathing. I was just like, whoa, I don't recognize you. And I just started taking deep breaths. Like,
That's powerful.
Dope. That's dope right there.
let's pull this in. You Fazayah. You know, you not
You're not a killer.
you're not a killer.
Yeah,
You're
same
not
thing,
some
you know
chick
what I
off
mean?
the street, you know, just can't catch a case. You know, I was just ready. I was just ready to catch a case. Like, I don't care.
I wonder how that lady felt when you told her that you will kill her right now.
Right.
Oh, she was probably scared.
Vicious.
She was
If
scared.
anybody
She was
ever
scared.
told me that, yo, I would have nightmares for the rest of my life.
If somebody
Like,
told me that, I think I would probably react before thinking I probably need to use a breathing tool. But if somebody would serenely come up to me like, I'd kill you right now.
Like,
I would have to
and
kill
I was
him first.
serious.
Like,
And I meant it. Like, I literally saw myself killing her. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
it's-
Yo,
I scared
Akon,
myself.
Yeah.
Can you get it started? Explain like a heightened situation that you'd have been through where you feel like a breathing exercise would have helped.
Let me think. Like, I normally don't like get mad that easily. Actually, I was like a really big hothead when I was going into my teen years, my early teen years. Like, I would not think at all. Like, my first like instinct was just to swing on anybody that pissed me off.
It's Mike Tyson.
Like, I honestly did
Mayweather
not
was-
like care at all. But I really do wish like a lot of times that I would have used those breathing exercises, because that stuff got me kicked out of school. I had to go to a completely different school, and even then like I can't even use public transportation and stuff. Like, I mean, I couldn't use the school transportation. Like, all the schools had like stopped me from using their transportation and stuff. That's
Right.
how bad it was.
That's crazy.
Gee.
And like so like I would have to walk to school in like the Minnesota winter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can't just say winter, Minnesota winter. You
Right.
can-
Like,
Scary sight right
Swear it's
there.
a difference.
Below zero.
and like I do wish like I had breathed like a lot more, like with a calm, like always stay calm and try to stay grounded, like, because like the funny thing is that like it wasn't like what got me banned wasn't like because of like one of my actions, because of my previous actions. Like, they had blamed me for trying to push a kid in front of the bus, which I didn't. Like, the funny part was I was the kid that got pushed, and like it was my friend. I was sticking up for him. Like I didn't care who they thought was wrong or right. I was like, this is my homie. It don't matter to me. And
So
but,
you was the victim of being pushed,
yeah, and like
and they thought you
Oh,
pushed
wow.
somebody.
yes.
Ain't that so unfortunate?
But because I was
crazy.
like in like school and stuff, I was known for like my violent temper and stuff. They didn't have any belief for me. And like what's messed up, what really got me twisted was like when I turned to look at my homie, all he did was shrug his shoulders. Like I
What homie? That ain't your homie, then, bro.
Ain't
yeah,
your
what I
homie.
thought was my homie.
There you go.
And like that stuff, it really sucks. So I wish I had really really stayed calm and tried to stay grounded and use breathing exercises. Like I really lately, like I've been trying not to be more like open about how I feel, but not
Yeah.
not to the point where I cause like huge conflicts and stuff like that. So
Right,
like,
exactly.
when we,
Kind of get assertiveness. Yeah.
yeah, like for example,
Let a little bit of that off of you.
yeah, when we went to
Okay.
the city hall for the interview with the mayor, like they were on straight bull with me. I for real like waited when she closed that door on my face without saying anything. I for real waited like in that small room, walking around, breathing, trying to calm down before I knocked on the door again.
That's not, I was
Because like I knew if I knocked again, it wasn't gonna be polite at all.
Right. So that's a good time to breathe. What about you, Levi? Talk about a heightened situation you've been in where you feel like a breathing exercise would help, or if you did breathe, explain
I
that.
do have. I'm gonna give you the first one you said with which one I should have used in the breathing tool, but it was a time where I was at school actually, so it was a couple years ago. So like in the lunch line, just chilling with the friends, we just all the homies was just, and then like some random dude, like I don't know if he was new or not, but I never seen his face before, and coming to find out he was a high schooler and he was in the middle school lunchroom.
Oh wow!
So he come in there and he kind of like bully all of us, like watch out, like I'm
high school. I got some middle school lunch meat.
Like, I'm about to cut up. Everybody let him cut him, whatever, and like I just didn't go and like I came up.
You
to
ain't
him.
budget me.
Right, I came up.
What's
to
wrong
him.
with you?
I came up to him and I'm like, I was polite at first. I'm like, man, what you doing? Like you can't be doing this. Basically, he like. And who is you? And he just pushed me to the ground like I'm a little girl. Like he pushed me straight to the ground.
He
like,
was hungry that day, huh?
He had to be hungry. He must have been eat breakfast or something. Like, and then like all I did, bro. As soon as I hit the ground, I just blacked out. And then that's all I remember. When I came back to my senses, bro, all I remember is like my shirt was ripped, his shirt was ripped. I had blood on me. It was just
my
like
goodness!
blood on the
Something
ground.
like just happened.
It was like I didn't
black,
kill the dude,
open
of course, but, like,
blood.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I feel like if I would have had those breathing tools, I would have probably calmed myself down before I got to that point. Or if I'd have known about them, it would have been like a don't get mad, don't black out. I don't know. It was just crazy, bro. Like that was the craziest that I ever had in my life. But like, they kicked me out of school. Never could come back again. I couldn't go to no schools in that type of facility. Period. Like. It was crazy.
That's crazy because both of y'all, like when y'all explained y'all situation and then saying how the school kicked y'all out, it's like that sheds another light like on the education system and how crooked it is.
And
because we
us like criminals before we even fully develop.
Exactly, like they give up on our students. That's why I'm so happy I found myself here where we at now at the High School for Coordinating Arts, a project-based learning school, because they take those students that's been kicked out and they say y'all could come here. What is your passion? What do you love? Oh, you want to do that? Here go a space to do it. Now, okay, I'm finna take you out of town and you finna speak, and stuff like that. It's just so amazing how some opportunities are still there, even when it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I got kicked out of 3 schools, I think, when I was a teenager. Yeah. And look at me, I'm innocent. Like,
I never got kicked out of school, but I've been sent to detention a lot, and I've been suspended a lot. Like a lot sometimes, especially when I got to high school, I was getting suspended just from arguing with the teachers, because that's when I got I want to say I got smarter and I was realizing my purpose on earth, and I'm like, this school ain't finna do nothing for me to make me get to where I know I gotta be.
Right.
So I was in there, I'm like, why are we even learning about this right now? Like, I just watched a documentary on some real history.
See, that's how it was in the schools for bad kids.
Yeah.
They called them behavior disorder schools at the time when I was going to school. I don't know what they call them now. But they would literally give us coloring books for our work, 8 hours a day. And I would be just...
credit for that. Boy, I would have been an artist that day.
Man, birthing little artists.
Nicely against the line.
Yeah.
It was frustrating though, because like I knew as a child that I was supposed to be learning, and I wasn't learning nothing. And they wanted me to sit down at a desk and do this frivolous work that I didn't see no point in. And and that was in Missouri. And I think all over the country is happening. Black kids, time is being wasted in school just because they have behavioral problems. And for me, it took me until I became an adult to look back on my childhood self and say, like, listen, okay, all those behavioral problems was society. It wasn't just you. It wasn't just because you was a bad kid. It was the way society shaped you, the way society, it's just.
Like
that's so powerful.
One of the things I noticed, didn't mean to cut you off, but like one of the things like I noticed, like especially like amongst like a lot of black like personalities that are on the internet and stuff like that, when they talk about their past and like how like a lot of teachers tried to diagnose them with like things like ADHD and like say like they had like if they had like an actual mental problem, really like they kept it real, and they said like a lot of times it was just it was my environment. It was, you know, me not being disciplined, stuff like that. There was nothing.
Or just
really
a lot
wrong.
of stuff at home.
Yeah, like that's
People don't understand that in black families, there's a lot of chaos
real.
happening at home.
Like I know,
lot of it.
I got like dropped like from school like a bunch of times just because of my environment. Like I did not have a like any like type of stable environment. I'm talking about like there was fighting and drinking, drugs like all day, all night, roaches on the floor, rats running across the floor, all that. Like there, like that. The apartment we were in was literally like not livable at all. Like,
Then they expect you to come to school and study something, and then
Being your
do a
best
test on
behavior.
it the next day.
Frustrated and
it's
you're
just-
hungry.
It's
by
like
the way.
I would come. I would.
Let's
come
not
to
even
school
talk
a lot
about
more,
hunger.
But
Right.
like my environment is so messed up. I'm not even getting to sleep. Like I got PTSD from that. And like I was going like it got to the point where I wasn't even like taking care of my basic needs. I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't washing enough. Like all that was just it started to get to me mentally and stuff.
Exactly.
And like now that I'm in a better environment at home, I feel more set. I feel more like obligated to go to school. I feel better about myself. Like I'm able to learn properly. I don't gotta worry about any distraction. I don't gotta be worried about getting evicted or kicked out in the middle of the night and stuff like that. Like those worries are gone, and I can finally focus on what you know what I want to. What's the priority to me?
Exactly, man. These educators got to realize us students, when I was a student, like the students are real humans too, who got real life situations, you know. Just because you driving 30 minutes to come to work and teach a class or some
And
kids
you
don't
automatically
know,
expect the students to be perfectly functioning human beings.
you know, like it's not like that.
Back to what I was saying, because that kind of falls in play, but I'm kind of like literally the opposite of what happened, what y'all saying. Like, all right, so when I got to that incident, the fight at the school, I didn't even get them the chance to even talk to me. Like, I didn't even like, they tried to like calm me down and stuff like that, but I feel like I was being ignorant. I mean, like I didn't even get them the chance to talk and say nothing. I'm like, I don't care what y'all talking about. I ain't gonna lie, the school was trying to work with me, but at the time, you know, I was a child, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know right from wrong, but I wasn't too aware of it, you know what I'm saying? So like they gave me the chance to like be like, all right, just calm down, you can stay in school. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to hear that. Don't talk to me.
It's gone. Because it happens. Like you get fed up to a point where it's
pissed.
like, I'ma just go. And then sometimes when you got stuff going on at home and you need to provide for the family too and make some money to help your single mother out, sometimes like you ain't got time to be in school. You got to invest your time and make some money. You feel me?
Or the simple fact that you're just in a bad mood because you're going through a lot of stuff. And sometimes for black kids, being in a bad mood gets you kicked out, expelled, in trouble.
Yeah. You know what I know? It's like a lot of like there's a lack of in like public schools. Well, at least the ones I went to, like no classes to really properly teach you how to express yourself. That's something that really needs to be learned, that you're going to need to learn how to do to really live a proper life in society. And no one's trying to enforce that enough, treating you like as if you got to hold all these emotions in. And that's why you at that moment you explode and they get the wrong message and image of you. Like I think it's really important to teach someone how to properly express themselves and say how they feel. And I don't think there's enough of that.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. We can't program them. We got to let them express themselves, you know, and find their passions and what's important to them. But now let's go ahead and get to these IWD questions. We wanted to ask you our special IWD questions. That's what's your inner self, what's your world self, and what's your dream self, right? And by inner self, we mean like explain your personality, talk about the gifts you have and human values, things you believe in. And then for the world self question, explain your image, like what do people think of you before they get to meet you and know who you actually are. And then your dream self, you know, so talk about what you wanted to be when you was growing up, and then explain all the work you're doing now and some dreams you got for the future. So we'll get started. What's your inner self, you know?
My inner self, a lot of times I still see my inner self as a little child. Ooh, that's a good question. Dang.
Yeah.
Inner self.
Your personality, your gifts.
I think I'm very sweet. I think my sweetness has been threatened my whole life. Like it's been kind of attacked by the way the society is being run. But I've maintained it, and I'm really proud of my sweetness. I think I'm very loving. I think I love to fix people, and I think that can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because for me, when I see people, I see their potential first, and then I get to know them like as we get to know each other. But the first thing I meet when I see a person is their potential, their light, like their godhood. And a lot of times for me that can be difficult because, you know, as time goes on, you know, the real person comes out and, you know, the godhood is just kind of a shadow that I'm seeing and their potential. And yeah, so what else inner about me? I care a little too much about the world. Like it could keep me in the bed for days, weeks. I think that's like definitely needs to be balanced.
Right.
I think I'm very powerful. I still haven't tapped into the full measure of my power. Yeah, but I'm starting to feel it and notice it and get comfortable with it, because a lot of African American women have this like greatness shame about us, and it's I'm starting to notice it, and it's annoying as hell. So like I'm starting to just really get comfortable with my power and my workings as a woman and as a divine being. What else about my inner self? I can go on and on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for real. But yeah, that's powerful though. The next question: what's your world self? You know, so what do people like? Yeah, how people
I think
see
honestly, and this could be wrong, and I hope it is wrong. But I think honestly, when people first see me, I think they're very intimidated by me. And I think because we have this like kind of 6-7 sense about ourselves that we can kind of sense when people sense us. So I've always been very in tune with sensing others, sensing like honestly, like for me, I can look at you. You ain't gotta say nothing, and I can tell what type of mood you in, what frequency you vibrate on, just by like it's like a smell of energy, or I don't know. Everybody has it, but like
you want some Jeeper Creepers type thing?
No, dead ass. Like everybody has it. I'm serious about that. Everybody, if we just kind of welcome in the quiet of our souls, we can like read people like so easily. Like you can tell the insecurities, the ego trips, all that, the strongholds, the energetic blockages. You can just see it once they walk in. So I think for me, a lot of people sense that about me. I think they can kind of sense that I see them in a way that other people don't usually see them. So I think intimidation is the first emotion when people see me.
Oh wow.
Just on the energetic feels they feel when they are in my presence.
And probably for some men, you probably intimidate them too. They probably be like, "Well, I want to get her number, but I don't know. She probably not in my right."
I think a lot of men think I'm just for no, and it's not that. It's just that I'm really, really preoccupied with my journey, my journey of self-discovery, healing my past wounds, healing my ancestral lineage, and really fine-tuning what gifts and talents I have for the future generations. And man, a lot of men just ain't on that. A lot of men don't have that like fire or that craving to be better and to grow more. Like they kind of stuck in their ego, like this is what I am, and they like really they spend the rest of their lives protecting what they are instead of growing into something more. Right, exactly. So like forget man, I don't care. Y'all hear me? Y'all try to holler at me, y'all get mad just because I'm not like who y'all want me to be. Like I'm not available.
That kind of falls in place with one of our powers, sort of kind of the new mindset,
right?
Because you mentioned that like they kind of stuck in their ego ways.
Yeah, it's like they spend their whole life defending what they already are or what they think they are.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's dysfunction.
That's real.
It's like there's so much more out of the endless possibilities. You defending that, what you grew into from your trauma, for what though? For what? What are you contributing to the world around you?
What's your favorite slogan again? You be like, why Slay? What you be saying?
How Sway?
How
Sway?
For real. Yeah. What's your dream self now? You know, what did you want to be when you was growing up? You know,
what I wanted to be when I was growing up, I wanted to be an actress, and I wanted to be married to an African prince. Yeah, I always loved Africans. Even as a kid, I didn't know no African, but I knew that Africa was the spot. Africa was the future.
Yeah. So you like that movie Coming to America, huh?
You know it. Yeah. You know it. Prince Hakeem, come through.
Yeah, that's real.
But my dream self now, I feel like how I see myself in my imagination is an absolute God, just purely divine, beneficent, giving, fruitful. I want to be incredibly fruitful. I want to bear an enormous amount of fruit in this world and on this planet. And I'm not talking about
I don't think they're ready for that.
I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about like businesses and all that
better
shit.
Than money.
I want that shit that lasts for generations. Like I want my great grandkids to say thank you, mother, thank you,
Mhm.
and I want them to mean it in it, and for what I birthed in them, for it to bear fruit on and on. That's what I want,
Yeah.
and that's how I see my my dream self.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
me too.
I want to be nutritious.
That actually, so you covered some things while you were speaking that actually led us to our next topic, and our next topic was the importance of empowering our black women. You know, because I know to some of the people out there, it might be ironic that our first special guest is a female when our campaign is generated to highlighting positive black males. But we understand that in order to change the narrative, we got to make it work together. We can't just be focused on the males. You know, we got to really bring our women into light and show that they are successful and they could do anything too. I feel like forever it's been barriers to what women could do, and it done called people to be sexist, like automatically. It's so crazy how it's been set up. And me personally, I really want to empower our black women because my mother, first off, like I just seen my mother go through so much, and watching her grow up and dealing with domestic abuse from my father and then another man, and always remembering like she was the one that really took care of all of us and did anything in her power to make sure we was straight. So I knew in my heart, like, I'm gonna give the world to my mom, you know. And while I'm giving the world to my mom, I also want to give the world to women too, because they the reason why we here in the first place. They're the reason why the world goes around. Like, I do not understand why our men do not respect our women like they should be.
Because we were just programmed to.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember I was inspired by Tupac too. Like, Tupac is the reason why I wanted to make music, and tracks like "Keep Your Head Up" was really inspirational for me because he implemented that in art. You know, just saying, like, why do we hate our women? Why do we rape our women? You know, I think it's time to kill for our women, time to heal our women, be real to our women, because it's the truth. So now I don't want to do too much speaking. I want you to go ahead and tackle this topic, and if you're comfortable, probably explain some experiences you probably had with men, and, you know, yeah.
All of my experiences with men is I was the healer. And this is why I don't date. This is why I don't do relationships now, because it's like I'm always giving my all to better you, and then you go over there somewhere else with some other woman, and it just doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. And it took me a long time to not take any of that personally, because I know that, again, we are at war, and I know that our men have been programmed for this purpose. We have been successfully producing children at a faster and stronger rate than any other race on the planet, successfully, for millions of years.
Facts.
That's why we the best and we the greatest, and, you know, we the oldest, the longest, because
I'm black and I'm proud.
Our reproductive system of operating, there's no problems there until about 20 years ago, when they started implementing this, you know, bitches get money, fuck hoes, all that bullshit, blah blah whatever, and our minds kind of, you know, got turned to where we just don't date now. Like, very rarely do you see couples that are black, like, in our community. It's a lot of us that are afraid today. We spend all of our 20s being too afraid to date. We spend all of our 30s saying fuck dating. You know, like, it's just, it's purposeful. We are at war. They don't want us to reproduce. It's that simple. So, like, for me, I don't really take it personally. All of the past relationships I've had with men they've just been victims of being programmed by our society so that we won't have sex as much as we do and reproduce and have kids. You know, that's why we're shaming, or they're shaming, the single moms. You know, shaming the women who have kids at, like, in their early 20s. You know, you gotta wait longer, because when you wait longer, I don't know if y'all noticed, but women, once we reach a certain age, 30, our eggs are less optimal, like, health. Like, we're more likely to push out a disabled child or a mentally disabled. You know, we're more likely to do that if we wait longer. So it's just societal, you know, hoarding. Like, they're kind of like marginalizing us into this place where we barely have children. And that's just, so I don't know. Like, I think
it's all a part of their tactic.
Yeah, I think the only way we're gonna liberate ourselves from this system where they're hoarding us into being is to wake the hell up. Like, our black man,
time for an awakening.
And honestly, I'm not even worried, because I know us. I know our black man more than they know themselves. I know how powerful they are. I know the miles long of DNA that hasn't even been discovered. Scientists have not even been able to unlock most of our DNA. And I know that DNA is power, is God, it's light, it's, you know, like, so I don't know. For me, like, the whole uplifting black woman, I think the first step is just being vulnerable to black women.
Yeah.
And I think that,
and that's funny because you said they done programmed us a certain way. They done programmed us to believe we can't be vulnerable.
yeah, but like, the programming is not the end all, and that took me years to understand. Like, the white man's programming of our society, that's not hopelessness.
Oh no, it's not.
That's actually,
it ain't nothing
it's
but
all the more reason for us
obstacle to
to
jump over.
sporadically create a solution.
Yeah.
And that's just what we are. We are continual creators. We are human beings, meaning that we are not be. We are constantly being and becoming. So, like, man, the solution is out there in the future in one of us. It probably in one of your sperm that you got. You know, you ain't. You know, I don't want to get too graphic, but like, in a few years, you know, you probably gonna bust that, and that kid is gonna grow up and have that solution.
Don't do that to me.
I'm just saying. Like,
I always said my first kid. gonna be a Grammy. You know, I think I could get that in a few years, though. Most definitely, I think I could get that in a few years.
I agree with you. I agree on that.
But yeah, I think the first step is definitely being vulnerable with each other. Yeah. And me as a black woman, it's very hard for me to be vulnerable among black men, and even within my own conversations with myself, to be vulnerable. It takes a lot of practice.
That's real. So. That's real. What about y'all? How y'all feel about this topic, man? Empowering our women, man.
I feel like it's about that time. Like, I feel like 2018.
It's been a time.
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like 2018 was probably like the most upcoming awakening for black people, honestly.
You saw all those women that was elected to office down south, like, doing their thing.
I feel like a lot of women get belittled because of the sexist stereotypes that been going around, and like, it's finally time where we like unite, come together, and not title like, oh, this is a man's job. It's a woman's job.
See, I caught myself. It's so crazy because we'd have been systematically programmed, like you said. I got real life situations where I had to check myself, like, being sexist. So like, my auntie, she asked me one day, she was like, so if your son lost his virginity at 16, what would you say? I'd be like, oh, that's what's up, give him a handshake. Then she asked me about my daughter, and I was like, whoa, like a whole wall was like, whoa, no, that don't sound good. But then I had to realize, like, bro, you can't say that, you can't do that, you know. And like what he just said about could work certain jobs, my other auntie, I heard she had a new job and she was like lifting boxes and stuff like that, and the first thing that popped in my mind was like, that's a man's job. But I chose not to say it though, but it popped in my mind for some reason, and then I caught myself in the midst of it, like, bro, that's not right what you was finna say. That's not no man's job. Like, women could do anything, man. You know, I feel like they more powerful than us. You know,
I have to disagree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like nobody's power than each other. I feel like we all are equal.
And that's an illusion, though. There's nothing equal on this planet.
Okay,
why do we keep pressing that, pushing that? No, we're not all equal.
Differently
the
same.
I'm the only one who can create here. Okay. I'm the only one who can birth life.
Yeah.
I'm the only doorway. I am literally the only doorway in this room to life.
She got you.
Now, you don't listen to what I'm saying. She just overtalk what I just
Levi
said.
versus Fazayah.
So all I'm saying, I understand you can birth a person. I understand that. That's why I said we're like,
it's not
equally different.
It's not.
We are the same in different ways.
But you need a man to birth that person, right?
We complement each other.
Yes,
we complement each other. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Complement each
but
other.
I believe that woman is divine above all things because we have that gift. We have been gifted with the doorway to life. We can literally produce a human being. We can literally produce life. And that's okay. I see you got a little problem with that.
No, I
you
don't.
mad. I see it.
You want to be pregnant, bro?
And that's okay.
You want to be pregnant, bro?
That's okay.
That's a whole 9 months.
And I think this is the first step with empowering women.
Same in different ways.
It's the first step with empowering women. You need to own our power.
I do own your power.
Okay, but you seem to have a real big problem with it.
No,
that we have this ability and you don't. It just I can feel it. And I feel like a lot of men have that problem that it's really hard for them to say that women are here and we are here. And that's okay because it's true. We birthed every man in this world. Every great being came from a woman. Yes. Period. And
so could you create a person or a person without a man?
Yeah.
How is that?
We was before y'all got here. Do you know that the male chromosome is X and Y? Do you know that the female chromosome is XX? XY is actually a mutation of XX. So before men was here, there was all women. We birthed each other, and we didn't need no sperm because we were sufficient in our XX chromosomes.
Is that still true to this day?
Men came into creation because we desired men. That's why the mutation came, XY. So now we got y'all. We great.
See, go ahead. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, you want to come on and say something real quick?
Come on, bro.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So our man
okay.
Sequel behind the camera, he just validated every single thing she just said.
Bro, shout out to
Thank
Sequel.
you.
He's a true MVP.
True MVP, man. So y'all always know when the camera is on, there's always somebody behind the
Most
camera.
definitely.
You know, teamwork make the dream work. You feel me? This man been working super hard all day, man, editing videos, getting the job done with the campaign. And yeah, we appreciate Sequel so much.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Jason Soul, my man, for giving me this hoodie.
Oh yeah, humanize my hoodie. Yeah.
Shout out to Rio. He not here. Jakai.
Self-made Rio, man.
Lil Mike.
Yeah,
Tay.
Jamari.
Tay.
So shout out. I want to say hi to my mom then.
Shout out to my people in Michigan, man. Trail, you doing your thing, bro.
Shout out to you, Grandpa.
Say it ain't crispy, man.
Random shout outs. Hey, that's dope. That's
People.
dope.
Black
Wait,
people.
let's get back on track. What were we?
Oh, we were just talking about
Still
women.
on track.
Yeah, we not.
Women are divine, and I believe that the biggest hurdle that we're gonna have to get over is this last 20-year idea that men or women are equal. That's bullshit. It's not true. It's just not fucking true. We're not equal. And I think in the in the black community, I think it's toxic to think that because historically we have been operating on a matriarch system, meaning the woman is in charge. The woman is the king of the whole household.
Okay.
All the people, the grown men, they go to the woman to make the final decisions for the whole family. That's where we came from. Straight out of Africa or wherever else, Atlantis, where we all got our theories. Wherever we came from, that's what system we came with. So that type of thinking is so anti to me for our true
it's not
nature.
even it's not even
And
his
not
fault.
take it personally.
I'm not.
Because I feel like you mad taking it personally right now, and that angers me.
Everybody else
that you
do
taking
but
it personally.
All right, listen. If I was upset, you'll know. But listen, though, check it out. What I was gonna say was, I want to elaborate on what I said when I said we are the same. When I said that, I mean it. I said we're the same in different ways.
It's okay to be wrong, Levi.
The reason I say that,
like you don't
is
have to
because
keep beating this topic. Like it's wrong. Period. We can
all right,
move
man,
on.
we just gonna move on with
It's
the
okay.
then.
We're not equal. No woman is equal to a man.
Right.
None.
It's not that I'm trying to show who right or wrong, but I'm trying to make you open your mind up to see where I'm coming from instead of like shutting it
I
out.
see where you're coming from, but I
No,
don't
you
agree
don't,
with
'cause you
it.
think-
No, I
Empathize
see where
with
you're
it.
coming from,
thinking that
and
I
I'm
have the
saying
same
it's
mindset
wrong.
of
I
other
just
men.
don't agree with it.
Exactly,
Period.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's okay. It's okay when people don't agree with your points.
Empathize.
Because you're not listening to what I'm coming from.
I'm
Mean
listening.
pressures on
I
men.
hear
What
exactly
am I
what you're
saying?
saying. You're saying that man and woman are equal in certain ways, not just giving birth, but in other ways, like we can do the same jobs, we can say the same things. What are you saying there?
I mean it as in we're all human beings. We bleed, breathe, sleep, drink, eat.
Yeah.
The same.
But we
And
don't
I'm in
give birth
agreement.
though. I'm just saying.
We're just the same in different ways. As in like what I just said with the eating, breathing, sleep, and all that type of stuff. And it would be, people have different abilities, such as women
Right.
giving birth.
So what you explaining is we not equal. We just got a lot of similarities. That's it.
There you go.
Now
And
let's move on.
agree. Yeah, let's move
Let's,
on. It's like we were never in disagreement about that. I don't
yeah,
really.
no.
I feel like you was coming at the idea that women are divine because they are the door of
No,
life.
I highly agree with you on that. It just
Okay,
goes back
then there's
to-
no
I
argument.
love my mama.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want you to think I'm like belittling women, like saying like they're not above me.
That's the vibe I'm getting from you, honestly.
Exactly. That's my whole.
And it's a
This is exactly what
misogynistic
I'm saying.
mentality,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
it's not even you. It's coming through you.
It's
You're
not-
you're just the vessel of it, and that's legit what I'm feeling from you. It's a misogynistic attitude where you can't say that.
Nah,
And women
Let me
are
cut
this
that
and women are
vibration off, cause
Nah, it's not that. I'm sorry you accepting it that way. It's just like I just
Check
keep speaking.
yourself. Don't apologize. I'm not offended. I'm taking nothing personally, bro.
women,
Bro.
right? Women,
Bro.
right there, right?
Bro.
Right, we just let it be there, man. Women, right? They better. Than
Hey,
us.
no, that's
We're
beautiful,
better.
though.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like we create all mentalities. What do you mean? Like what?
All right, we praise women, right? All right, so before we I don't know if we're gonna close up or not, but I do want to play a game. It's the alliteration game. So we're gonna start off with explaining
you
how
got a
this
little
game
nervous.
go.
Yeah, we got to do the alliteration challenge with you.
Yeah,
You know, about you being a special guest. And it's just a quick little game.
Brain
So,
exercise.
how you familiar with alliteration? It's like Sally Sold Seashells Down by the Seashore. It's just saying a bunch of words that start with the same letter, basically. So how the game goes, we'll get a letter, and then you just so say the letter is
T.
Yeah, give us a letter.
W for women.
F.
Women.
F. She said F. Freedom.
Food.
Fighter.
Fright.
Family.
Flight.
Friendship.
Flexible.
Fly. I lost because in the rules, the word has to be at least 4 letters. You got to respond within 3 seconds, and you can't repeat a word that was already said.
Okay.
So this is the alliteration challenge. We're going to have Sequel give us a letter, and then he's going to give us a 3, 2, 1 action, and you can get it started because ladies are 1st. And we're going to do the alliteration challenge. All of us just going to take turns, and we're going to see what happens.
Go ahead, sequel.
So you give us a 3, 2, 1 action.
Dead.
Deficit.
Dominate.
Diamonds.
Dope.
Determine.
Dedicate.
Dealer.
Diligent.
Dedication.
I just said that.
No, you didn't.
I know I just said that.
Did he just say
I
dedication?
swear I just said that. I thought about your song.
He did not say
I
dedication.
thought about your song. That's how I said dedication.
Did he just say dedication?
Thank you.
You said dedicate.
All right.
You didn't say dedication. You didn't.
Just say
Come
your
on
word,
now.
bro. Say your word. Say your word.
Hard
Dookie.
work and dedication, right?
Yeah.
I thought about your song and I said dedication.
No,
Danger.
you said dedicate.
Okay.
We
Louis a
gon-
woman now because he right.
No,
Say
I
your
can't
word.
wait. I
Next
can't.
letter.
I can't
Move
wait
to the
to.
next letter.
I can't wait to watch this over and see what he said.
Oh, did y'all see that misogyny?
You know, and that's
All
why
right, give us
it's
the-
my
give us the
job
letter.
to ignore comments like that.
Hey, give
You
us the
know,
letter, sequel.
even though I am always right. You know, because I am Louis.
R.
And we need you to pay attention because
O.
you the referee, bro.
O. All right,
You
go.
heard me? We need you to pay attention because you a referee.
Optimist.
Optimistic.
Opportunity.
Opioid.
Optimus Prime.
We gonna let you slide. All right, we gonna let you slide for the ladies. Ordinary.
Open.
Obliterate.
Off.
That's
3 letters.
Yeah, that's three. We not gonna let you slide twice, man.
Oh, stop.
She doing the whole
Why
electric
you
slide
know?
dance over here.
All right,
Slide to the left.
You gonna do one more letter, then we gonna move on from there.
One more letter, and then we gonna
R.
get to the R.
You said
Oh yeah, you picking the letter. E. Oh, that's a good letter.
enthusiastic.
Elephant.
Educate.
Eliminate.
I don't need E words like that. Elevator.
Energy.
Elephant.
Did you say elephant? Oh, he
Elevator.
gone. I said elephant. That was my first word.
No, you said
Yo,
you said
no, I said elephant.
You said
I said elephant because.
Oh my
No,
God.
I
You did
said,
not say elephant.
I did say elephant.
He did.
All right, man. Yeah. No, that's enough for the alliteration challenge.
That's cheating because Louis got a song with a whole verse with alliteration.
Make sure y'all go play this game. Hashtag alliteration challenge, man. It's just a brain exercise, really, because you know you think you don't know a certain word when we realize like we know a lot of words.
It's just being put on the spot. Just thinking
Yeah.
about it like, damn, I can't pick one word out of a million of these
Thank you,
words. Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
exercise.
Yeah, so Fazayah, going back to like, so you are a healer, you're an educator, you know, you're an artist, you know. Can you talk about that experience, like being a healer, being an educator? Like, what are some things you have learned, and what led you to want to even do that?
Wow. It's a kind of a crazy story. I had no idea that I was a healer my whole life. Up until when I began my healing journey. It took I know this is gonna sound really crazy, but it took a very abrupt, kind of bumpy awakening, and when I awakened I sensed like a sea of ancestors kind of telling me, like in a laughing way, like a matter of fact way, like I can't believe you never realized this about yourself. Like kind of giving me like clues about my healing ability. In vision, in dream, in synchronicities, and other people, like they would speak through other people. This was over a period of about 6-7 months that they were telling me, and I kept denying it because I'm just like, I don't know. I think from all of the trauma, I just kind of concluded that I wasn't anything of substance. I just like, I'm just here just to be here. I never thought that I could like actually help people or even heal myself.
Right.
So the initial narrative was heal yourself. You got to heal yourself. If you don't heal yourself, then everything that you're ignoring is being passed on to your children. And that's what initially and my ancestors told me that. And the way they told me, I was so terrified because I love my baby. I love my child. I got an 8-year-old who lives in West Africa. And they gave me a visual of him having to deal with everything that I'm not healing myself with. And it just bolted me up into this this kind of aggressive healing tactics that I'm like, I don't know, using. I've been a little too aggressive with my healing techniques. I noticed that because when I talk to other people, the way I talk to myself, my inner man, they get like super offended. So like, I don't know, it works for me though. I've done an incredible amount of healing in the last 2 years. I've seen the fruit in my family even, because like one of the things we don't understand is that when we start healing, just on an energetic level, the family members have to follow. They have to. Once we get on this spiritual journey, the family follows. Like,
oh my goodness,
they have no choice but to. So
that's so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I like completely relate to that. Exactly what you just said right now.
Seriously,
it's like we just recently been able to like hang out a lot, and you taught me so much. Even ever since I first met you, I don't even know if I ever told you that, but I've been getting so much knowledge from you. You've been healing me. Just doing amazing work. And what you just said, like when we could heal, like the family has to follow. I feel like naturally the family been following it. Like literally like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Even the family members we don't talk to. I haven't talked to my brother in years, and we just recently started talking because I'm on this journey, and that's it. Like there's no other explanation for just the just so happens to we reconnect and rekindle our relationship, because family members were bounded by something that's bigger than just us talking to each other. It's an energetic bond, and when we take that journey and we awaken and we start taking that walk in spirit and in virtue and in righteousness, that our family just automatically follows. It just has to. So yeah, so when they initially told me that if you don't do this, then your son is cursed forever, like they were just literally laying out like what the Bible spoke about, like curses, like your curses are being passed down from generation to generation, and curses is essentially the trauma that we have failed to heal or failed to even address within us. So
that's real.
It took an enormous amount of self-love that at the time I didn't feel like I had, but it was kind of like conjured out of my DNA. It was crazy. It was amazing. So like if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, and yeah, I'm just happy I'm here.
That's dope.
I just want to say I really do appreciate you coming to our podcast. You were a lovely guest.
Thank you.
I appreciate you spitting some knowledge to our viewers and our listeners.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Akon, you wanna make any closing remarks?
I'm just glad to be here. I'm just taking everything in. Like I didn't talk much because I really wanted to just take it all like in. Like I'm an analyzer. I take everything in. I let it sit on my plate, and like I dissect it really. So like I'm just really glad to be here. Keep opening up your mind, expanding, elevating to a new plateau. Like always be ready to learn.
Amen.
Yeah, because it's so crazy. Like I've been in so many situations. So like just recently, literally like 2 days ago, we had Taco Bell. Me and Levi, we had Taco Bell. I told him we should go to Chipotle. I wasn't trying to eat no Taco Bell. I was trying to eat Chipotle. But he, I'm not trying to spend all that money.
You got to say that part.
I had to say that part. So we would have never been in this situation if we went to Chipotle. I'm just putting it out. Hate to tell you so.
It could have been that same energy at Chipotle. Just saying.
Yeah, so anyways, we go, they got the little new technology. It's the kiosk device, so you could like pay before you even go to the counter. So we like like, bet I pay on there because I assume that I get my food faster if I just do it and then they say my name. So I get it set up. I paid for it. You know, I got money on the card. I swipe, and then it's like 10 minutes go by and we still ain't get our food. But then I noticed like 4 people that came in after us got their food already. So I'm like, what's going on? So another 5 minutes go by. We 15 minutes in now. We finally decide to ask. After we've been patient all this time, we finally decide to ask very politely, like, excuse me, can y'all check our order? Like, where's our food at? And then the woman tell us like, oh, what did y'all order? What's y'all name? Like, I don't see y'all food. Go check the screen. She says she don't see it. So then we like, yo, what's going on? We know we paid for it. And she look at us and she tell us straight, no, I know y'all trying to get free food. I'm going to call the police, and walks away.
Triggered.
So I was triggered. Wait, she wasn't even white. She was Hispanic.
White people.
Yeah, exactly. So I was triggered, right?
Let me just clarify. I think that Hispanic people have been like
Programmed.
polluted by the virus mind that I call white regime. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we was triggered. We both look at each other with our eyes was huge. We laugh. We like, bro, did she just say that? Like, I think she did just say that, bro. So the first thing I do was breathe, you know, because I've been learning, like, when you breathe, it floods oxygen to the brain and helps you stay calm and think. So I breathe. I'm like, you know what? Let me just talk to other employees. So I'm like, yo, she don't know what she talking about. Can you check our food? He didn't believe me neither. He like, no, right? So I had to pull out my bank account and go to my recent transactions to show them that I just paid $6.69 for a Taco Bell meal. It's right there.
$5 box.
So now you can't disagree, right? So he decided to finally go check himself, and he goes on the screen and he realized that our orders was right there. She just must have skipped over the name or something, right? So she was in the wrong. She never apologized to us. Felt so disrespected that she ain't
knew she was in the wrong too, because when she after she said that, she walked
right
to the back and never came back to the front.
Never came back, right?
And I actually told the dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, can you go get her and like tell her to come give us an apology for that? Like, you know, like we didn't like spaz out. We paid for the food.
Nothing.
We got receipts, things like that. She did not come back.
Like, I'm telling you, the Louis, and like 2 years ago, if she would have said that to me, we'd have got kicked out of that Taco Bell. You feel me? But we ain't want to take it there. We was able to breathe, stop, and think. So we get our food and we go to sit down. All the tables are dirty. So you got disrespectful, prejudiced employees, and you're not cleaning. So people could have a good environment to eat in. You feel me? And then they come out like 3 minutes later, like, we're about to close in 5 minutes. Y'all gotta leave.
To remind y'all, the lobby don't close until
10 o'clock, and it was 9:48 when they said that.
We had
we had 12
minutes to eat.
We had it. Like, we know they lobby closed at 10. This is a familiar Taco Bell we usually at. And it was just a very, very bad experience. I still was never able to eat my food neither, you know. But it's all good. It was just funny because we was able to breathe, and I realized, like you said, we really it's not some people's fault because they've been systematically programmed to think the way that they think. And that's what was in my mind. I know my spirit is sacred, and I know I'm good, so I can't let anybody break my spirit. So, you know, so I really thank you for giving me that new mindset, you know, and that's back to one of our 4 powers: new mindset, new media, new leaders, and new narrative.
Yeah, I got one more thing to say. Louis surprised me with this thing right here. Like, by us being worked up still, low key, we still kind of upset about the situation. Louis still gave his whole $5 box to the homeless man. Like, he was in the store. Louis like, man, I don't even want this food no more. The old man like, can I have it? He like, you know, here you go. You can have the whole thing. Dude like, nah, man, I don't want it. Louis like, nah, man, take it. I know you hungry. And that kind of touched my heart a little bit. I'm like, this nigga, I mean, this dude Louis mad right now, and he's still giving out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a blessing gonna come back to you. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That
That stuck out to me.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, I knew. I felt like he needed it more. So, yeah, you could have it.
Okay.
No man.
Before we close out, what's the 7 chakras?
Oh, before we go there, no man is our friend. No man is our enemy, but every man is our teacher. So every time we deal with stuff like that. Sorry for my cussing, y'all.
We could bleep it out like
chick.
You definitely can. Though. That's cold.
I think it's important to ask ourselves, what do we learn? What did we learn from Trump? What did we learn from the Mexican racist chick at Taco Bell? You know, just I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, I learned that I just gotta continue to doing the work that I'm doing. You feel me? Because yeah. Oh, by the way, I gotta shed light on the Washburn Black Box Theater for their amazing performances they just did. The first episode was This Body Tells a Story. It was a play that they displayed, and it was just amazing artistry. And we literally came from that event, so that was another reason why I was able to be calm, because I feel like that event set the mood, right? But that's real. Thank you for leaving us with that quote. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Continue to be amazing, awesome, and brilliant. Continue to be the best you could be. You know, we always here for you. And this is real. This was a nice episode too.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Well, this
I'm feeling
episode for Zaya. Episode 2 for Zaya.
Yeah, that's gonna be the title.
You know what's what I thought was kind of funny. You know, like on the first one, me and you had a back and forth on like on how we seen things, and then
the little debate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Debation is gonna like make them
I
want to watch
fruitful.
it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love
Yeah.
that.
Debate. I love debating. I love
me
like
too.
challenging people's beliefs
Hey, but stop
past
playing
their
with me,
ego.
though. Stop playing with me,
Yeah.
though, fire
Yeah.
out there.
I'm gonna beat you up any day.
Yeah. So
I've been wanting to beat up Levi since I met him.
So she don't want no smoke because she had all the space and opportunity she needed to have. She ain't bust off yet.
That's funny.
Hey,
I'm
keep,
just-
keep playing. I'm gonna pop off.
It's all love, though.
Yeah. So
man.
one
Get your
more
least
time.
respected.
This is the Info Show live from the 4, where we feed your mind, body, and soul. Your boy Louis Blaze is out.
Deuces.
Crimson Kojak out.
Peace and hand grease. No, my social media, Fazayah Rose. FAZAYAHROSE. So
Don't forget the H, man. Don't
Fazayah
forget
Rose,
the H.
Instagram or Twitter. I got a Twitter account. Yeah. all that
Yeah,
good stuff.
go follow her everywhere, and go follow at IW Dreams. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and if you got any topics that you want us to talk about, make sure you leave them in the comment section, and just stay updated on the campaign. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
One love.
Peace and love.